Okay, well, let me tell you this. Do you realize that once you go a certain height in the atmosphere that you're not visible anymore? You don't have to
Yep.
leave Earth before you
That's a
become,
good. That's a great point. Okay, so
yeah. So they went
then it
above the
has to
I
clouds.
land
just
somewhere.
died.
So it has to land somewhere then, right?
I
Because it
died.
technically you're
Does it
right.
though?
Technically you're right. We didn't. They didn't see them actually leave the atmosphere, just out of sight. Okay,
I'm
so
far.
then it has to come back down at some point, right?
Why does it?
Because it went up and it only has a certain amount of fuel. So it's in the air. It leaves view. It has to
Okay.
come down at some point, right?
Not, not if it got destroyed by the Van Allen belt.
It came back to Earth. There's video of it.
Okay.
There's people there of the re-entry.
So
So
it,
it
it,
re-entered. It re-entered. Guess how long later it re-entered?
how long?
About 8 days after. After the people
Okay.
saw it go, 8 days later it returned. You're telling me it was chilling around, burning gas up in the atmosphere for 8 days?
No, I'm telling you that it was within Earth's atmosphere, but it was in a a, a small portion of atmosphere before you reach the Van Allen belt.
To
It
be
was
fair,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
it's
stationary
Okay. Fine. Then it's
within
stationary. You're
our
telling
orbit.
me. Okay. So within our orbit, you're telling me it's
Yeah.
burning gas up there for 8 days
No,
straight.
it's not burning gas. It's attached to the fucking in orbit space station.
in low
Attached to it.
orbit.
Attached.
Yes, in low orbit. Attached to. Yes.
Like docked.
Yes, docked. Which is why it was up there for 8 days before it came back down.
To be fair, that's a good point.
Yep.
What if it was
To
docked
be
there?
fair, to be fair, because the Apollo missions definitely talk about docking at the International Space Station before going out.
Which
Okay.
is in Earth's orbit.
All right. Ready? Ready
In
for
low
this,
orbit.
guys?
Ready.
The International Space Station wasn't built until 1998, almost 20 years or
Oh,
longer
Blues, my mind's
after
blown.
after the moon landing happened. There was no International
The,
Space Station at that time. There was no International Space Station for it to dock on.
There wasn't no 7-Eleven up there chilling for them to
The station
refuel.
wasn't there. No, there was nothing up there. It wasn't built till 1998, 1999. They began its construction, launched in around 2000, much after the moon landing happened.
All right,
So
so I'm not gonna be
there.
able to kill these guys that you leave behind.
gotcha.
I'm doing 1 damage.
Damn.
I forgot that I have no gear on and I have starter weapons on. So that's why I'm doing 1 damage. But I'm still gonna pick up this cube like I'm a boss.
Ah, what the fuck's my cube? What if you
My
can
cube,
kill
bro.
people in your team? Just fucking like
That'd be rad.
and snap the thing back.
Like you have to blood mark first though.
Oh, I got dry mouth like a motherfucker.
So the
Oh, we gotta
was it
go up
Apollo
here.
11? Which one was the first one to land?
Apollo 11.
Okay, so Apollo 11 lands, right?
Yep.
1969.
Yeah, I think it was like 1969.
All right.
I got you. Hold up.
20 years before the
No, 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 no,
space
no, no, no,
station
no,
was
no, no,
built.
no, 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 no.
That
Okay,
monster working overdrive,
check this
son.
out, bro. Salute. On April 19th,
Ah!
on April 19th, 1971, the Soviet Union launched the world's first space station.
Yeah, that was after the Apollo mission. So there still was at that time there was still no space station for it to dock on. So it left orbit. It only had enough fuel because when you're in space, you can use gravity to propel you. You don't have to spend all that fuel. That's the
That's not
reason
true.
why.
Hold on, you're wrong. You're wrong there. Nope.
Okay.
In,
How?
or, in order to get propulsion, you have to have um, I'm blanking on what the word is called, but it has to have push. In zero gravity, you cannot use propulsion until your propulsion hits something.
Yeah.
You have to blast off of something. If you're in space, you can't use it because it has nothing to go off of. In Earth's orbit, we have gravity to push off of. That's how rockets work in our gravity.
You
But
don't
in
need.
space,
Yeah, there's a vacuum. You don't need anything there in order
you
to
do.
have propulsion.
It's been proven that you do.
You don't need
Yes, you
like
do.
you can be in a vacuum and you can
No,
propel
you can't.
something. You don't need to be pushing on the air. That's not how force works.
Yes,
Is
you
water
do,
a
bro.
vacuum?
Listen, that is how it works in a vacuum. I promise you. Look it up, bro. It is.
That's not
It's
what
been
causes
proven.
propulsion though.
Yes, it will not move. A rocket
You
will not
if you
move
the
until
act of firing the fuel out is what propels it. It doesn't have to hit air or anything
no.
in order to propel it. It's
Yes, it
equal.
does.
It's
No,
for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. You
that's
fire
within
in
Earth's
one
gravity.
direction and you move
That's
in the other direction. You don't need air to be there. Yeah, if you have air that's there, you can
no.
like push more off of it, but you can
You
just do
have to.
that in a vacuum. You don't have to.
Would you do me a favor and look it up? I
I
promise you, I'm
can.
right. It's been proven that there is no propulsion inside of a vacuum until the gases behind the rocket build up enough pressure for the rocket itself to propel off of. It has to have a push. There is no exertion without a push. I promise you.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that once you're in orbit where
Yeah.
it's 0 G, you don't need to use fuel, right? Because you can just
I'm
you can
saying you
coast
can't.
there.
That's all you can do is coast.
Okay, so then in
I'm,
order to so they had to have entered orbit then, and they had to have gotten out of the atmosphere
I don't think they have
because they
anyway,
didn't
though.
have enough fuel. They could not have been in the atmosphere and burned fuel for 8 days.
Well, I'm not even
You
talking
have
about
to.
that anymore. Just look up. Just look up if propulsion works in zero gravity because
Oh
it
no, I
doesn't.
died again.
You
You
don't
have
need.
to
You
have a
don't.
push. You do, bro. I promise. Look it up.
If you already push off with a certain amount of force from Earth, then you
Push
can
off.
just then yeah like if you leave Earth
Thank you, do anus.
if you use energy to leave Earth, you're already moving. So when you're in space, there's no resistance, and you can just keep going. You can coast. Basically,
Can
you
I
don't have
tell
to
you
use fuel.
something that,
You can just use gravity to move you. You don't even have to use fuel. That's
bro?
the
There's
reason
something else
why they had enough
that
fuel is because they didn't have to burn it
no,
because they were literally using gravity to do
you
most of
can't.
the work.
You
That's
can't
why
do
they
that.
had enough. That's why it returned 8 days later. It would not have been possible to return 8 days later and burn fuel up in the atmosphere. They had to have left orbit, gone into the vacuum to conserve fuel. You can't have a rocket just chilling up there for 8 days on the fuel that it had.
I'm not saying.
Just
I'm
orbiting.
saying that it didn't go up at all, bro. I don't know why you're saying
There
that
were people that were there.
it's chilling for 8 days. No, whatever.
There
Do
were
you know
people.
that in the communications of NASA, in the fucking master control or whatever the fuck it's called, do you realize that there was only one person that was talking to the astronauts out of that whole room of people? Only one person was talking to the astronauts. In the videos, it sounds like everybody in the space station can hear them. They were talking to one fucking person. And you're telling me that they were on the moon and fucking President Nixon called them on a telephone and they answered the telephone and there was no breakage or corruption or interruption, I mean, in that telephone call from Earth to space. That's 30,000 miles away. I mean, from Earth to the moon.
What?
That's 30,000 miles away. And he called them on a landline phone and talked to astronauts.
What does that have to do with entering with the whole fuel situation? You literally just jumped to a whole new topic. After I said that they didn't have enough fuel,
I'm saying we
you just
did.
totally jumped. You totally jumped
No,
topics.
it's not. It's not a different topic. Because I'm saying that none of the shit that you believe is real, bro. We haven't done any of the shit. It's all bullshit.
There's pretty strong evidence. There's people that were there in person
How
that
is that
saw the
strong
rocket.
evidence?
There's
I just
people
got
that were
Black River.
They saw it leave, bro.
nice. As a 9. Oh, it's a 9. It has to be 925, huh?
It
Th- th-
is 874.
What the?
They saw it go up so high that it disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's all they seen.
Yes. From well, other than cameras, but let's say for example you're right. That's all they
Those,
saw. Okay. So it's up in the air somewhere in orbit, or not in orbit. It could just be up there somewhere out of view, right?
Schmorbit.
no, it came straight back down.
It didn't because they didn't see it come back down.
Okay, that doesn't mean it didn't.
Well, what
That
do you mean that
means
doesn't
they
mean it did
didn't
it?
see
If nobody saw it, then anything's possible. What
If
is
a
that? What are
tree
you saying?
falls in the woods, bro. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, the fucking tree still fell. Nobody's seen it come back down. That doesn't mean that it stayed up there for 8 days. It could have came back down.
Nobody saw it.
Went, well, that
There was
doesn't
no
mean shit, bro.
evidence. There was no evidence that anybody saw it came down. Maybe it did come down, but there's no evidence for that.
Okay. Then rubbed my wiener on my thigh, and then I peed.
Mercy was the rocket.
Red rocket.
But I really want you to look that up because you're
I've done
wrong
it.
on that. No, you're wrong, bro.
I've done it,
Propulsion does
and
not work in zero gravity. Oh,
That's
yeah,
a whole separate topic.
I had another thing about it too. Like what you're saying. You're saying that
God
look,
damn
the
it.
speed. You're saying the speed of the rocket after we exit our gravity is enough for us to like use that speed and momentum that we got from going through there to move around. Well, let me tell you
Yeah.
something, buddy. Let me tell you something. How fast does the rocket go? Thousands of miles an hour.
Fast?
I think you need to go
How many?
30,000 miles an hour to leave orbit.
Hold on. Is that true? 30,000.
I'm not
pretty
sure what
sure
the
that's
exact
true.
number is. I mean, I can look it up,
Because
but
you're
there is a
talking about
speed at which you can leave Earth's
Yeah,
orbit.
Hold on.
it's... Look it up.
Let me check that. Yeah. How fast do you have
I want to say they're going like Mach 10
go-
to leave orbit.
to leave orbit?
If I'm close at all, I'm going to be impressed with myself.
I hate fucking kilometers.
You have to be moving 33 times the speed of sound.
11.
So Mach 33?
kilometers per second.
That
Hold on, let me
11.
look at that mile an hour.
That's 33,000 miles an hour.
It's 24,000 is what I got on 11.
That's
It
pretty
says
close.
you have to go 11 kilometers.
Yeah, 20
a second.
Kilometers are weird.
2000.
Yeah, I know. That's why I converted
Is it? Is it? what's kilometers? Is
2,200,
it?
about 2,230 miles
So
per hour.
it's like almost
No,
half.
24,000. It's
Where is it?
It's-
To escape.
I-
Oh yeah, you're
I-
right. Yeah. 20, about 25,000 or something.
600. Yeah, almost 25,000. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Think of this real quick, Udon. Okay, say you're going 25,000 miles an hour, and that's within our orbit. So you got gravity and all that shit pushing on you and all that shit, and also the resistance of you going that fast, the wind pressure pushing against you. Okay, and once you break our atmosphere and you enter no gravity, do you realize that 25,000 miles an hour would turn into 250,000 miles an hour, and you would fucking be a bullet in space?
Yeah, that's if you didn't provide any resistance against it. That's what the fuel's for. So when it's coming down, when it leaves, it burns
When
its
it's
fuel.
going up.
Yeah, it just burns fuel and it keeps going faster and faster and faster. And then it hits that threshold and it escapes the orbit.
Okay, well, when it escapes the orbit, that speed would fucking quadruple, and not quadruple. That speed would multiply by fucking 1,000. If you're going 25,000 miles an hour with gravity pushing against you, and then all of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, that gravity's gone, you're gonna be going way fucking faster. You're not dealing with traction. You're not dealing with gravity.
Yeah, you just
You would be a bullet.
continue along the same. You'd be
You
going
would
fast.
be a bullet, bro.
You wouldn't
Fast.
but you wouldn't be increasing in speed. You wouldn't
How
be like
not?
if you're just constantly. You mean like after, like once you so you blast really fast, right, and then you shut off everything and you're just coasting.
I
You're
blasted
you're
real
saying that
fast.
you
When-
speed up, right?
How do you can't? Well, hold on. Look, say if a car is going 100 mile an hour and slams on the brakes, look what happens to that car, bro. There's no way that something's going 25,000 miles an hour and is able to slow itself down enough to go where it wants to go in space. It would fucking completely crush like a pop can. It's none of it is real. If we were going 25,000 miles an hour and we left orbit to where there is nothing pushing against us,
Yeah.
nothing pulling us down, that speed would increase at a
It would
crazy
not.
fucking
No.
rate. Yes,
No,
it would.
not. It would stay at the
Why
same.
would it not?
Because it would stay at the same speed. It would be going
How
fast.
would it stay at the same speed if it lost the forces of gravity? If it lost the forces of traction? There's no way that would go the same speed.
What would cause it to increase in speed?
The loss of mass, because shit is weightless in space.
Yeah, so there's no resistance then. So there's no resistance, which means there's no slowing down. It does not that does not.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not slowing
That's
down.
what
But
I'm saying.
no, you're
It's
saying
not
that
gonna
you're
slow
saying that.
down.
Yeah,
it's gonna
but you're
speed
saying
up.
that it's. Yeah, but no, it wouldn't do that.
It would definitely speed up. Why would it not speed up if it lost gravity?
It would, if it lost gravity, that means that there's no resistance pushing against it. That does not mean that it increases in
No,
speed.
that
means
is
that it
also
stays
pull.
at its current speed.
Gravity is not just pushing against it. That's not all gravity is. Gravity is also pull to the earth.
Yeah, it's a pull
pulls us
to the
down.
earth.
It's a pull down.
Yeah.
When it loses that pull down, it's going to slingshot.
No, it's not going to slingshot. It's not. It doesn't like
Yes.
all. It doesn't out of nowhere like make you go super fast. It just means that there's no
It would.
resistance.
If it was real, that's what it would do.
That's not what happens.
Exactly, I know.
It goes
but
it
it's
goes
not
at
real.
its constant speed. Like if you leave
that makes
leave
no
Earth's
sense,
orbit,
bro.
if you okay, so you're going 25,000 miles per hour, right? You have to go really fast in order to escape to like go through the air.
I get that.
Yeah, so the air is what's slowing you down, right? As you're trying to leave the Earth's atmosphere.
Not just the air, gravity.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
gravity and the air, both of them are trying to slow you down. So once you leave the Earth's orbit, now there's no gravity.
And pressure.
There's no gravity or air. That means
Or
that
pressure.
yeah, so there's nothing slowing you down. So now you get to
Bro, you're
you
saying
go
what I'm
your
saying.
constant. No, I'm saying that
You
it
don't
stays
go
at a
your
constant
constant, though.
speed. If it
There's
leaves
no
or
way.
it's
That
going
doesn't make
constantly
sense.
25. If it leaves orbit,
No.
if it leaves orbit at like say it leaves everything,
Bro,
it leaves the
how?
atmosphere and it's going 25,000 miles per hour, it stays at 25,000. Nothing is causing
How?
it to increase and increase and increase.
But I'm not saying that it's causing it to
All right,
increase.
it's-
but
It's
there
one
is-
of Newton's 3 laws. Hold on.
No, bro. You're talking about laws that deal with Earth's gravity. That doesn't work with space. If space is
It's the first law.
zero gravity, bro.
It's every object in a state of uniform motion will remain in that state of motion unless an external force acts on it. There's no external force acting on it, therefore
Okay,
it remains
so it's gonna
in
stay
its
in motion.
yes, in its current motion.
That doesn't no.
So it's not
that-
going to increase, is what I'm saying. You're saying that it picks up speed like
Bro.
at a crazy speed like a bullet. I'm saying
My
no, it
Lord.
doesn't. It stays at a constant speed.
He does that. What you're talking about right now, he's not talking about when you leave gravity. He's talking about when you stay within gravity. Not when you leave gravity. He's talking about gravity itself. Newton's laws are about gravity, bro. You're talking about something that I'm taking out of the equation completely.
No, but they still apply though.
They don't apply. They are rules
they're
of
universal.
gravity.
Yeah.
They are universal rules of gravity.
Yeah, they always apply.
They don't apply to
they don't just all
non-gravity.
no, they don't just all of a sudden stop working at different points in time. It's always there.
Ah,
That's why it's
bro.
a law because it's
Look,
it's unchanging.
I can fucking destroy your world right now. Look, Newton's second law, I believe it is. When it, fuck, I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember exactly how it's worded. Well, I'll just say it. Fuck it. When you put force on an object, you get an equal and opposite reaction to that object. Okay, that doesn't apply in space. You can touch a baseball
does.
and it'll go. No, bro. You can touch a
Why
baseball
would it
in
not?
space
It's a law.
and
Okay,
it,
so-
and it will continue to travel. It will take Newton's first law, and it will continue to travel for fucking ever. but in a different way, because nothing on Earth can do that. But shit in space can do that. It can travel in a straight line, and it's going to get affected by other shit's gravities.
Yeah.
But that's not an equal reaction. If you can touch something and send it miles away from you, compared to Earth, where you would have to fucking launch it out of a fucking cannon to get it to go the same distance. That's not the same. You can't take Earth's gravity laws and apply them to space. That makes no sense.
You can, because that's how
There's no
physics
gravity.
laws work. They're universal.
That makes no sense.
They always apply in
Same
every
as they
situation.
No, they don't.
That's why they're
There's-
called laws. I don't
They're
even know
laws
what to
of
say to Flinch
gravity, my
anymore.
nigga. What are you
I don't even
talking
know what
about,
to say to you
motherfucker?
anymore.
They're
You're
laws of
saying
gravity,
you're saying
bro.
fuck all the laws of physics. They're not constant everywhere. They're
They're
not even
laws
laws.
of gravity,
They can just
motherfucker.
change.
Shit.
They can just change
They
at a whim
change-
at any point in time to anything.
Oh my god,
I
you've lost
can't-
your mind. You've lost your mind,
Can
bro.
I-
You are
hey,
the
hold on.
biggest sheep I've ever
All right.
met in my life.
Can I have
You
a
should
question?
eat grass, bro.
Can I ask a
You
question?
should fucking eat grass.
Yeah.
Flinchy, let me ask
to,
a question.
to Flinch
Go ahead.
or to me?
What were you saying, real quick, Hida?
Before?
Yeah, what was your statement? What was the last statement that you guys were arguing about?
The last one was about
Leaving
how
Earth's orbit.
how things move in a vacuum, going from an atmosphere to a vacuum. I'm saying that it maintains a constant speed once it leaves the atmosphere, because
So,
like air's
okay.
slowing it down, right?
Right. So, yeah, you have air.
Yeah, it's slowing it
resistance.
down. It's slowing it down. So once you're in a vacuum, there's now nothing to slow it down, so it
So
remains
Heaton is
at
arguing
its speed.
That once the craft,
stays
in
the same
theory,
speed.
Yes.
leaves orbit, but the engines get cut off once
Yes.
it leaves orbit, it will continue moving at the same rate
The
of
same
speed without
speed.
resistance.
Yes, would not
And
increase.
Literally, Flinchy's saying the exact same thing but different.
No, he's
No,
saying that when you that it's going to constantly speed up. So now it's
No,
it's
not-
30,000,
not
now it's
constantly.
40,000,
Not
now it's
constantly.
50,000.
No, you're wrong. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all.
You said
Oh, I
you said
should
it was
not
going
have
to
come
increase
in.
to
No,
250,000.
listen to
That's
what
10
I'm saying.
times.
Yes, what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying when the rocket is within Earth's atmosphere, that it's being pushed on by air pressure, by gravity, by friction, by all kinds of different things. And what I'm saying is once it leaves Earth's atmosphere and enters zero gravity, within a snap, something that's going 25,000 miles an hour with all of that force pulling it down toward the ground, once all that force is gone, it's going to slingshot and fucking in the snap of a finger pick up crazy amount of speed.
That's not
So
what would happen.
So no, hold on. So Flinchy's saying. So if I understand this right, once it leaves the resistance of gravity and whatever else of some sort
Yeah,
of
the
material would be in the way causing resistance. Once you leave and you're in the vacuum, you're saying that you would accelerate because that is a constant relief of resistance.
Yeah, of
Like
pressure
instant
and
relief?
resistance. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But force does not. Just fuck. I lost my train of thought. Just look at the first law, dude.
No, like I said, you're
every
talking about
object-
Earth's gravity. You don't have an argument unless you
It's-
can do better than that.
Mercy's
Those are
probably
rules
already
of-
looking at it.
Those are rules of Earth's gravity. They're not rules
It's-
of zero gravity.
It's laws of motion. It's not laws of just the Earth or
It's
laws
laws
of just.
Earth's gravity,
It's
bro.
not just-
when an
it's
apple
motion.
falls from a tree. He got the idea from an apple falling from a tree. What made the apple fall? If we were in
'cause it's in
zero
a gravitational field.
Exactly. If we were in zero G, the apple wouldn't have fell. He made every single law on gravity, bro. It's about Earth's gravitation.
Yeah, but no,
Not
but we're
zero
talking
G.
about motion now too. We're talking
I
about
know
motion.
we're talking about motion, but
Yeah,
we're also talking about
so there's no
leaving
gravity. Yeah, leaving gravity. There you go. So Newton's 3 laws are of motion, not of gravity. We're talking about motion right now.
No, they're of gravity.
first
bro.
law of
If you don't think they're gravity, then you don't have an argument.
The first
His
law.
laws are of gravity.
The first law says every object in a state of uniform motion will remain in that state of motion unless an external force acts on it. There's no gravity. You just admitted there's no gravity. There's no air.
Okay.
Therefore, there's no external. Yes.
What's the formula?
Let's see.
Look, that's the only one that's about zero gravity.
Which is what we're talking about, because that's what you wanted to talk about. You said leave gravity to the side, and I said, okay, we'll talk about laws of motion.
But that still has nothing to do with it. How does that?
Equation.
He's talking about in zero gravity, because that's the only way that works. Because nothing on Earth that has gravity pulling against it, because gravity is the evil of his first law.
What does that even mean?
Something in motion stays in motion. No, it doesn't, because it has gravity. It has friction. Nothing in motion stays in motion.
Yeah. If something's in motion, then it stays in motion unless a force acts on it.
What does? Tell
Everything.
me one thing that stays in motion. One thing.
Everything does. Okay, a meteor.
does.
A meteor just moving through
What the
space.
fuck?
Yeah, let's say, for example, a meteor just moving through space is
Let me
moving
rephrase my question.
at a
Tell me
constant
something
speed.
on Earth, bro. Tell me one thing on Earth that stays in motion.
Nothing does because friction.
Exactly, and gravity. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The
so
two things
that
go
doesn't-
against his first law.
No, they don't go against it. They go on top of it.
They're not. What?
They go on top. You're saying that those contradict each other, and I'm saying that those don't. Those both go together.
How do they not contradict each other?
Because
Why would you
an object
say-
in motion stays in motion unless
No,
an external
but it
force acts
doesn't.
on it.
What? Yeah, the external force is gravity and friction. On Earth, everything on Earth is affected by gravity and friction.
Yeah,
Every single living or non-living thing.
I agree with that.
Okay.
So,
Well, but what that is pressure, though, in a different form. That's pressure pulling you down. Okay? Well, look, if you think about the spaceship thing like I'm talking about, look at a lock wall. I don't know if you've ever been to a lock wall or anything, but these are like waterfall things that were built for reasons and shit, but that ain't the point. They have these trees that come down the river, and a lot of these trees get lodged underneath the water, way down below the waterfall. And ever so often, one of those trees will break loose from the other trees that it got caught up on down there, and it'll shoot fucking 200-300 feet up in the air, and it'll come down and bust all over the ground. But it has all that pressure on it, all that pressure build up and build up and build up, and then the release of it sends that fucking thing sky high.
I obviously agree with all that stuff. That's just more of the stuff that goes together. All those things go together.
What made it shoot up?
Oh yeah, I'm coming in.
What made it shoot out of the water? The loss of pressure. It wiggled its way free.
There's a lot of pressure, and then pressure wants to equalize itself, so it's gonna naturally move out because you're going from higher pressure to lower pressure. Yeah, that's all.
That's a rocket leaving atmosphere, though, bro. That's the same thing. That's a rocket leaving our atmosphere. It's gonna have the same effect on it. It's gonna lose all that pressure. See, you disagreed with me.
No, but
you disagreed with me. The loss of all that pressure is what springs those trees out of the fucking river. The loss of all that pressure leaving our atmosphere is what would spring that fucking rocket into the next planet.
you're talking about two different things, though.
No, it's not two different
What
pressure.
you're talking about is true. I obviously completely agree with that. With pressure, yeah, that's how pressure works. But a rocket leaving the atmosphere is not.
Yeah,
pressure is not the dominant.
Pressure, bro.
But pressure is not the dominant thing in the equation. We're talking about the force of rocket fuel leaving the engine that's counteracting gravity and friction and all the air on top of it. So that's the equation.
Gravity and friction.
Yeah, gravity and friction.
That is pressure.
No, those
just
are
like
different
being
things.
underwater. No, they're not different things. How are they different things? Gravity
Because they're
is pushing
different
down
concepts.
on our heads right now. Gravity's pushing us down toward the ground. You can feel it. You can feel your body being pushed down. You can feel it in your feet. You can feel it in your legs, in your arms, and your back. It's pulling us down.
Yeah.
That
I can
is
feel
pressure.
that. I'm feeling
That
old
is
these days.
that is pressure, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's pressure in the equation, but that's a thing that's pushing the rocket down, right?
Okay, friction
Yeah.
is pressure. The
Yeah,
fact,
I guess in this case, yeah, it can be, yeah. So that's another force that's pushing the rocket down, then, yeah.
yeah.
I
And
agree with you.
Once those pressures are relieved, that rocket is gonna fucking take off, man. I'm telling you.
What once the no once okay, so
Yeah.
we agreed on all of that, all the way up until the point when you said
don't get that
said no. Okay, so we agree on everything about how pressure works, about how gravity
Relieve of
pull,
pressure.
yeah, all that, yeah, we agree on that, and then the gravity's counteracting the pressure, the air, the friction, all that stuff. We agree on all that, and I'm saying that when you relieve that, you go at a constant speed, and what you're saying is that when you relieve that, you increase in
It would-
speed.
Yeah, it would be.
But I'm
just
saying
like
that
the
that's
tree,
not
bro.
what would happen because of the first law.
But the first law doesn't say. The first law is you're in 0G the whole time. That's the only way that law ever works. Is if you're in 0G
no,
when you
it's
start it
always
and when you
applicable.
end it. No. Nothing that is affected by gravity stays in motion. The only way to stay in motion is to not be affected by gravity or friction.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that.
You have to be in 0Gs at the beginning.
No,
of
you don't
the
have to be. You
experiment
don't have to be
and
there at the
end.
beginning.
Yes, you do. Because I mean, without propulsion, you do. You're thinking like with propulsion.
No, like
Then-
no. We're talking about if you cut it off completely. That's what Mercy said. He said that you're propelling yourself out of the atmosphere, and then right when you leave the atmosphere, you cut the engines, and you're moving now. I'm saying that you would go
So, like,
at a
yeah, if
constant
you're
rate.
able to time the perfect cutting of the engines while leaving the last layer of the atmosphere, the relief of the pressure, it will not allow the craft to travel any faster than it already is.
Wow.
Well, the relief of the pressure would allow it to go a little bit slow. So as you relieve up the pressure, right? Like as the gravity starts to like not be a factor, as the air pressure starts to not be a factor, then
Because you guys are
it
not
increases
taking
in
into
speed.
account the spin of the Earth, which is also a force that allows the
True.
departure from the atmosphere.
Yeah, it makes it. Yeah, you have to expend less fuel because you're going at an angle. You're going in a way where
That's
you
why
don't
it always
have to
looks
expend
like
as
the
much.
craft is always going sideways once
Yeah.
it gets closer to the edge of the atmosphere. Or
Yeah,
just
because it's
below orbit.
rotating, so you want to move in the direction that it's rotating to
Unless
minimize
we want
the
to
fuel
start
that you
talking about
use.
flat Earth.
No, God, no.
You sure?
No, I hope that we agree on this one.
No, we definitely don't agree at all.
Oh, there we go. We
Because I
did
think
it.
it's flat. No, I'm just kidding.
I also think there's lizard people. Oh no, there's somebody right here on me.
I'm gonna die. One shot.
I don't see how you can agree with 90% of my shit and then not agree with the part
The
that
end
makes
part.
the most sense.
Just the end part. I agree with all the pressure and the gravity and all that, but once you, as you relieve up on the gravity and all the pressure, you increase in speed up
Is that
up
what-
to the point where there's no more gravity affecting it and no more air pressure. At that point, it
Yeah,
remains
brothers.
at its speed
Well, I
and
got a
it keeps
question.
going. Like
Do you-
okay, like
no,
for example.
hold on, I got a real question for
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Do you think that Newton's first law was talking about propulsion?
Newton's first law is just a law
just
that's
motion.
always applicable.
No, just
always,
answer
it's not
this.
about a
Just answer
particular
this.
thing.
Was it
Everything
about
in motion,
It's about any
yes,
object in motion.
Every object any object that's in motion
no way.
is obeyed by the law at every point in time, kind of.
No, not true. Not
Yes.
when.
It's always applicable. It's
Bro,
always applicable. The
look,
thing that
he
changes
left
are
clues
speeds.
in the whole
Speeds
fucking thing.
change, times change, space changes. All those things change. But the
What
things
he
that
should
don't
have
change
said.
are the laws. That's what helps us make sense about everything
An
that's going on.
object-
There has to be something stagnant. There has to be something stagnant that always applies in
Well, it's
order.
repeatable.
There,
Yeah. You have to have one controlled variable. That's the laws.
I agree.
Those are the laws of
But
physics.
listen.
They stay stagnant so that you can measure all the other things that are changing.
listen,
You have to
Hayden,
have a
hold on. Hey,
stationary
Hayden,
thing.
what year are you in?
What do you mean?
What year of study are you in?
I'm almost done with my bachelor's. Have,
You're
like-
junior or senior?
I'm a senior.
Okay.
Did they feed y'all grass in class, or did they make y'all fucking go out to recess?
I think that's how
Look,
they
I'm
save
gonna
money
tell.
on
I'm gonna
lawn
tell you
care.
something. I'm gonna tell you something. An object in motion stays in motion. That's only if, or fuck. How was it worded again? When you say it, how it was worded?
And yeah. I mean, yeah, you said it right. An object that's
No,
in
there's more.
an object.
There's more to it.
Oh yeah, an object that's in motion will stay in motion unless a force acts on it.
An opposing force.
Yeah, or any force. Like if it acts in the direction
It's a counter
that
direction.
it's moving, then it'll move faster. If it acts in the opposite direction, then it'll slow down. And if it acts at an angle to it, then it'll move at a certain angle away. Like at that, yeah, like it'll change speeds.
Dude, how nerdy are we that we're playing Diablo 4, you're streaming, and we're talking science debates?
That's
Well,
awesome.
listen though. An object in motion stays in motion. What?
Oh yeah, it does.
What?
So we agree.
What does? Bro?
We can change.
No,
we can
don't
talk
agree.
about something different now. Yeah, you just agreed with me.
No, I don't agree.
You just agreed. We can go to the next topic now. You just agreed
No,
with the first law. We're done.
No, I don't agree with the first law. I do agree with the first law if it's talking about zero gravity.
About
Within
everything.
Zero gravity. No, it's not everything.
Everything.
I mean, it is, but it's not. The reason that it is because it says unless it's being acted upon by a force, which is the gravity and all the other fucking shit. But you're holding on to an object in motion stays in motion.
Yeah.
I'm rock hard listening to this. No, I don't want to kill that conversation. Keep going, Flinching. Oh no, I just started an event.
We already finished it.
Come get me! Come get me! Come get me!
He already agreed. He already agreed, and we're already going to go to the next topic, whatever it is.
Oh, I died. I'm in an event.
I can't believe how ignorant you are, man. Like, fucking for real.
Oh,
God almighty.
no.
It's sad. It's sad that fucking half the world is like this. It's really sad.
I think
It's fucking
everybody
sad,
else
bro.
except you believes in the moon landing, and then maybe my aunt.
Okay.
She doesn't,
Hey,
but everybody else does.
You're a fucking fool, bro. Watch the footage. In one of them,
I
there's
did.
no stars. Watch it for real, bro. Watch it with your eyes open. What the fuck is
Did you
wrong
say
with
there's no stars?
Don't smoke.
There wasn't,
No.
not in the original video.
Zero
Because it was-
fucking stars. Because
it has-
he's got a
Was
fucking
in the
reason.
day?
God damn, I don't know about debating, bro.
It has to do with like when they were filming. I think they're saying the backdrop from like the sun rays coming from behind them.
Multiple fucking light sources.
It whites out. It
Yeah.
The
whites out
fucking,
any of
the fucking dude
scene of
falls and gets
Yeah,
pulled up
yeah,
by
that's not even a
wires on his
space thing. That's
pants.
just camera stuff. That's too much exposure. If you get too much exposure, then it obscures
That's
all
what
the
it
other
was.
light sources. Yeah.
But
I feel
there's-
so bad for you, man.
But
I
then
really
there's
do.
also theories about like how can they even have a camera in the '60s that would even survive space radiation?
The
There's
material.
so much wrong with it, man. Nothing can pass the fucking Van Allen belt.
I'm not playing
De-
devil's advocate. I listen to conspiracy theories all the time.
Definitely not some sticks and some aluminum foil. You are fucking crazy. You are fucking crazy, bro. I feel really bad for you. I do. You are a fucking sheep.
I got 99
Okay, so
problems.
we both agreed then.
We don't agree
On
on,
the first
shit.
law.
I think you are ignorant as fuck. I'm sorry. That's just my honest opinion. You fucking just
you
believe
just said-
anything that somebody says.
But you just said that an object in motion stays in motion. We
If
agreed on
it's
that
in
already.
zero gravity, that's the only way that that works, bro. If an object is in zero gravity from the start of the experiment all the way through
No.
to the end of the experiment.
It's not how
Some-
physics works.
Yes, that's how. whatever.
Well, is your stream capturing both audio and like you playing at the same time? Is that what
Yup.
this is? Oh my god.
Yeah. There's a little camera section at the top. I don't have one, but you can like point a camera. I can point a camera at me, plug it into my
Oh,
other USB,
I'm sorry,
and
but
put
I'm
like a
just
little
being
photo of
honest.
myself.
I
Long
think
ass hair and beard and shit.
I
you
think
look like
you're
a hippie?
crazy.
Yeah, no, I look like a philosopher.
He probably looks like a Marxist because you go to college and nowadays.
Yeah, I got blue hair, man bun,
What
blue hair. That got the fedora.
what color's your fur? And you wear a fucking
It's the
fedora?
it's the
God
color
damn.
of the aluminum alloy that the ship was
Silver?
made of. Yep.
Silver gloss?
It's strong enough to withstand going through the Van Allen belt.
How thin did they say the walls were? It was like an eighth of an inch thick.
I don't know. Let's see.
It was like
Look
or
at the
three-eighths
craft,
of an
bro.
inch thick or something.
You,
It's something
you,
so thin. It's like how?
it's aluminum foil. Fuck, bro.
Aluminum alloy. That's different. Please tell me
Yeah,
that
it's
you.
different.
Okay, thank God.
No, it's not fucking different, bro.
What we
No,
just.
It's
no.
heat
Okay.
tempered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it went.
it's different.
It went
It's
through.
just.
It went through 30. Yeah, they had it plated in gold or some shit. It went through 30,000 degree temperatures. Like I said, bro, you're an
Yeah.
idiot.
I think it's interesting that you can eat gold. Like you can eat a metal and it's actually good for your stomach enzymes.
If it's like, it has to be 24 karat. I think.
Yeah,
Anything
it has
else
to be
is not.
pure
Yeah.
gold leaf or flake or whatever they call it.
Oh, I'm freezing in my room. God damn.
Actually, no, because don't they put like 18 karat flake into like what's that drink
That would
called?
be dumb to do that because you'd be getting other metals.
Goldschlager.
I hope not, because you'd be getting.
Look that up. Look up what karat flake is in Goldschlager.
Okay.
I'm in
Lord.
Champion's Demise by myself. My two buddies are not with me. Or...
It's 24.
Is it?
Yep.
I can't
Okay,
believe
so
you believe
it's the
that
only
shit.
edible version because impurities would probably make you sick, huh?
Yes.
And what do they coat it with? They put like iron and
I
something else
think it's
to...
I think it's steel. No, I don't know if it's steel. Maybe
I
silver.
think it's iron.
Yeah,
No,
something
they're
like
not
something
gonna put
cheap.
another
Yeah,
precious
not
metal into it. It's gotta be like
true.
iron to make it
Yeah.
strong and durable. Because it's such a soft metal.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What does it cut with?
Still in here by myself.
It's probably just a I bet you it's a combination of other metals. It's probably not one.
No, they put a bunch of shit in there, man. They put like powder stuff in there, and I don't know, like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch. It says mostly zinc, nickel, copper.
Yeah, nickel.
Rhodium.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think zinc and nickel is probably what's.
You're too close to the door, Mercy.
What?
You're too close to the door to teleport to.
Oh, my bad. I had no idea what you meant. It's like, what door? My front door?
Oh, yeah, I gotta get something. One sec. I'll meet you in there.
I think I got a bug bite on my heel, dude.
I think I
know.
gotta quit talking to people.
Nah.
Yeah. It's sad to see how dumb the fucking world is. I'm sorry, but it is. It's literally sad.
People have their own beliefs. They're free to do what they want.
Yep. Agreed. But it's still sad. Sad how much we're lied to.
Well, that's definitely the truth.
Yeah. Nobody knows the truth, man. We're left to argue about shit that they won't even tell us.
Still can't go to you.
There's a guy really close to the door and I'm dead. Oh,
Sorry,
I'm about
Mercy.
to die. No, it's alright.
shit.
They're always here. Gosh dang it.
I'll go to the entry.
Thank you, sir.
Damn, now I got hot.
I like how the armor for the Necro you're wearing kind of reminds me of like a Dark Souls game.
Hell
But
yeah. Like, I gotta send you guys a picture that I took of Jupiter with my telescope.
Dude, my buddy was having a problem with his telescope. He had a Chinese stand that didn't recognize daylight savings. So when you tried to program it to film, it wouldn't follow the curvature of the Earth as the time of the stand should have been moving to leave the aperture open or whatnot.
Yeah.
So he said he had to go in and reprogram it. And I was like, dude, you're on a whole new level of nerd, like you're geek level. I mean, it sounds like his rig is like thousands of dollars. Because he sends me stuff all the time, like, oh, Mars came this close, and then this is what I got. And, Venus and Mars are right here, and then Jupiter's right here. And I want to say that he sent me, like, a pretty impressive picture of the rings of Saturn.
Oh, that's cool. I don't even know if my telescope can pick that up.
It's pretty frickin' impressive. Like, I want to say that there has to be some sort of program within like the digital download image that it receives that increases the image or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I don't know about that stuff. My telescope can go as far as Jupiter. I can get a couple of its moons too. Oh fuck, I keep dying.
Can you get Europa?
Yep.
I want to
But
see
it just
that.
looks like a little
White blurb.
it looks like a little rock. Or like a little, yeah.
Well, watch.
Jupiter just looks really bright. I probably need a special lens or something to so you can distinguish features. It just looks like kind of like a star almost.
Did you see the web pictures of Jupiter, the new ones?
Yeah. It's crazy all the pictures they can take now.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna be like one of those new interns at NASA that finds a planet on his first hour of interning?
Probably not NASA. Most likely a fucking like some kind of laboratory near here. I know that there's the Lick Observatory. I've already done a little bit of work with that, but I've never been there in person. But I've remotely controlled a telescope from a classroom with one of my professors and like one other student.
That's rad. I'm sure that's something that you have to request and some sort of bureaucracy like thing you have to go through.
Well, I got lucky because it was almost everybody had the opportunity to do it, but nobody really wanted to. I don't know why, but it was for one of my classes. It was the advanced laboratory section, so it's like the very end of my bachelor's. I've actually already taken all the hardest classes. I'm just taking the last little filler classes to complete.
Oh, the funsies?
To complete the bachelor's. I don't know. Some of them aren't really fun at all. No, I like the difficult ones were also the most rewarding ones because you actually get to do shit. I fucking hate. I mean, I like physics, but I really hate just like sitting there in front of a desk, constantly like just grinding out equations over and over again. As much as I like physics, like that shit gets like I dread doing my homework sometimes. I'm just like fuck. Like I like doing the experiments and learning shit in class, but then right when you send me home, I'm fucking ready to play Diablo, just hang out. Like why couldn't we just do all this work when I was there? That's why homework's kind of bullshit in general. Most jobs you work hard for like 8 hours, and then when you come home, you can do the other things in your life. Like do like whatever you need to do, fix your car, fucking do laundry, just hang out with your friends and family and shit like that.
Well, it's a ploy to make you do more learning past the time that they have to be in class for credits.
Yeah, that's just if anything, like just have the classes longer and more immersive, and make it like a work day. Like you're there for like fucking 8 hours or 6 to 8 hours. You're just there.
Or you're not done until you complete X amount of work.
Yeah, and then And usually the work should not be like mindless calculations. The calculation should come alongside the actual experiment. That's the important part. Like I hate just like raw equations. Like, all right, we're gonna learn about this subject today, and then we fucking start just like cranking out equations and stuff. And it's like, no, show me like the fucking device. Show me the device, and then go. You know what you just did there? You just changed the frequency. You know what can describe that, and then boom, you bring up the equations, right? And then it's like, oh, the equations, that makes sense now. Now it's fun because you're learning about like what the equations explain. But just equations in a vacuum, that shit's fucking boring, dude. Class needs to be more immersive.
That's a whole other subject, man.
Yeah, now I'm just ranting about how the school system should be. Should be more specialized too. You shouldn't have to do a lot of GE.
With like Chat GPT and stuff.
Dude, sometimes it helps me out a lot.
Yeah, I'm assuming that school is a lot different now that that's an option, and it's hard to trace.
Yep.
And even if it prints out the thing, you could just edit. You can be an editor instead of a writer.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to like put some thought behind it, but even if you do use ChatGPT, but yeah, it's you can just search shit up, and then you don't learn anything. And then even if like, so like I'll do the calculations and shit, and I'll be like, okay, I understand what's going on, but even if I am confident with my answer, I feel like I almost have to go to it just to like, oh fuck, well maybe I should just double check, and then I do that, and it's like, well, why not just like fucking type the whole question in and just do it like that? Like it's ridiculous. Like another reason why the school system should be like the way I was saying. You're not grinding out equations, typing shit in. You're in person. How are you gonna Chat GPT an in-person experiment? You know, like you're doing the goddamn experiment. That's the important part. You can't Chat GPT that. That's real world stuff. It's not just text you can type in on a computer.
Well, technically, a lot of businesses are using Chat GPT to do lots of things.
Yeah, I mean,
so really, you should be going to school to how to properly operate Chat GPT for whatever
Yeah.
you would like to go down.
Yeah.